guys. We're here again with another Wavy Beauty podcast. I'm Vanessa, your host, and I'm here today with Kristina, and she's an entrepreneur development manager at the NatWest Accelerator program. So we'll just be having an insight into what it is she does and how she assists new startup businesses. So, Kristina, welcome to the Wavy Beauty podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do personally? And then we'll go into a little bit more of the business side.
Okay. Cool, yeah. So at the moment, I manage the NatWest Accelerator here in Brighton. Mm-hmm. And I say here, wherever you're listening. I'm in Brighton. And my job essentially here is to help deliver the NatWest strategy locally, but also to help the entrepreneurs here with building the right support network around them. So whether they need to build a network of mentors or investors, if they're pitching for investment, if they're trying to, build their customer base, how do they build the right support network around them to help them scale their business? And pitching is something I'm specifically very passionate about. A lot of buyers or investors, they listen to so many pitches. So it's like, how do you stand out and how do you make sure people remember you and really understand what you do and what your product is?
And did you have a passion for this beforehand, or is this something that you developed an interest in over time?
So I think, to be honest, I've always been very passionate about startups and business. From a very young age, I've just loved writing business plans and like coming up with business ideas. And I always kind of thought, okay, I'm going to start my own business one day. And maybe I still will. I kind of have had a small one.
Okay.
But I think what I learned over, university and like working as a consultant, that I just really love supporting other people to reach their business goals and to help them scale through marketing or pitching. So that's kind of, I think, how I ended up there, because I've just loved supporting other people to do that. Yeah,
that's great, because Wavy Beauty, we are a platform for small businesses to obviously market their products as well. So we obviously give a little bit of assistance with obviously offering that platform. If they need eco-friendly packaging and stuff, we'll give them advice on that as well. So in a way, we do assist, and you also are assisting those startup companies as well. So there are a few similarities, which is fantastic. You did mention that you had a business previously. Yes. Give us an insight into what that was.
Sure. I mean, it was very, I'd say it was a very small business, in the sense that I turned my hobby into a business. So even though my career has mainly been in marketing and business, I have always been very passionate about fitness and nutrition. And I found myself always helping friends and friends of friends with their nutrition plans, and, people who had no time to work out, how do they stay fit and healthy and look good. So eventually, when I was consulting, I had a bit of time to start up my own thing. So I started the Career Body, which is kind of no more. It's still a blog somewhere on the internet. But I started a 24/7 coaching business to help business women who are always on the go, don't have time to go to the gym or get a personal trainer, to kind of be their kind of guide wherever they are, to be able to message me anytime, send me a picture of a menu, or ask me any question. And it worked really well. And I got to meet some awesome people and work with some really cool women. So, yeah.
And would you say that was the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey then?
Perhaps. I think looking back on, I didn't quite notice it at the time, but looking back when I was at university or before that even, I was always helping people with their businesses. So, somebody would approach me with a business idea, and I'd say, okay, I know exactly what you need to do, and I'd help them write a business plan or something.
Wow.
So I think I've always kind of had a bit of that streak in me. And probably why I ended up going through kind of the marketing career path as well, because it's all about how do you help a business grow for a particular channel.
Okay, fantastic. And now I know that you have expertise and being able to assist small businesses. What do you think are the common mistakes for a lot of startup companies when it comes to pitching?
I think the number one biggest sort of issue is clarity. So the amount of pitches that I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with this, is you hear somebody's pitch, but by the end of it, you ask the question, okay, so what exactly is your business? And I think so that's definitely the most common challenge. So if you're writing a pitch or you're planning to pitch to somebody, really, focus on how do you make this really clear so that anybody would understand it. Because even if you're pitching to industry experts, you just don't know when you're going to need to share what you do with anybody in a room full of people. So being able to have a really clear and concise message about what you do that anybody can understand is really important. And then I think maybe not being kind of specific enough with what you're trying to do. So a lot of people, when you start out, there's so many opportunities and options of what market you could go into or what products you can create. But when you're starting out, you really need to figure out like a niche area.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other people you're competing with. So, so what's going to set you apart and what are you going to focus on instead of having like a scattergun approach? Nobody's new product is for everybody. And that's another big, mistake that people make, is assuming that everybody will want to buy what your product or your service. And that's just not the case. Some people might argue that like Facebook is for everyone, but when they started out, they were only for college students, and that's why it kind of took off. So it's like you have to figure out what your college student market is. It's like where do you start? So that's a really key one.
Yeah.
I could keep going for ages.
Oh,
but those are the main ones.
That's great, fantastic. And what are the ways in which a beauty brand can make a good pitch?
I can imagine it's really tough because there's so much competition in the beauty market, right?
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, like there's a lot of trends going. Well, there's always probably trends in the beauty industry, and a big one at the moment is probably natural beauty products, right? Yeah. But I think what people need to realize is you have to really niche down and be really specific with what your trend or new thing is, or what innovation is there in your product because of the competition. And just being a natural product is not good enough anymore if you're pitching to a buyer or to get investment. So I think, again, going back to those pitching challenges is getting really clear on what your specific niche is. Figuring out, actually creating a buzz around what you do before you pitch to anyone. So, if I have a new product, I'm like, right, everybody's going to want this. This is how much of the market currently are interested in this. Anybody could say that, but have you created a buzz around your product already to prove and validate your products? I think that's quite important, whether it's through social media or a small community.
That's great. As well. Fantastic. I don't know if you've ever heard of The Ordinary skincare products. Yes. Yeah. I'm an avid user of their products. There's pretty much the only, when it comes to after I've washed my face, they're the only products that I use.
Okay.
And I noticed they're quite a plain and simple beauty brand. So they tell you exactly what's in the product, and they'll also give you a little bit of an insight into what sort of skin it's suitable for as well. But there's no complications. You know exactly what's in the product, and it's recently new. I never really heard of The Ordinary until maybe a couple years ago at least, or really just started using their products this year. So when it comes to what do you think the buzz around The Ordinary is, because it's actually gone viral, to be honest. So
I've heard a lot about them, and I've used some of their products.
Yeah.
So is it two guys in London that started it, or am I thinking of something?
I'm not even too sure.
I might be wrong. I might be thinking of Disciple. But I think that's probably identifying a trend that's happening right now. And I think it's definitely the case that, we're going a step further from natural beauty. We're saying now it's all about being transparent. So it's not about fancy marketing or, getting you with a nice pink glittery bottle. It's about, this is exactly what this product is. No, I'm not swearing this. And these are the ingredients in it, and that's what you're getting. And they've managed to make that into a cool brand. So they're kind of, there's definitely that trend happening, and a similar thing with Disciple. I don't know if you've heard of that
and
brand. I love Disciple.
Yeah, they do similar products to The Ordinary. I think it's very, very similar. They pretty much have the same products, a few extra ones as well, but I have gone on their website. It's very, very good service. So like, skincare guys, we recommend those two. Let's go on to the next question. So can you tell us a little bit about the NatWest, in particular the NatWest Accelerator program, and how it helps developing small businesses? You touched on it a little bit earlier, but a little bit more detail into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Essentially, we've got 12 hubs across the UK, and we are the UK's largest fully funded accelerator program for businesses. And what we do is we support entrepreneurs kind of through a wraparound support program, really. So you've got co-working space that you can utilize. Again, it's fully funded, so you don't have to pay for it. You've got a community of businesses that are on different industries, but the same entrepreneurship kind of struggle of a journey that you can work with and meet and collaborate with. And then you've got a one-to-one coach that you meet with once a month or more if you need, who's there to challenge you, hold you accountable, and to kind of be your sounding board, whether you're going for a tough time or a really great time, to kind of be there to support you. Your best friend and worst enemy, sometimes we call it. It's a great way of identifying it. And then, we've got great access to mentors and contacts, whether it's from being a bank and having all these different clients, or outside of that, we've built external mentor networks as well, and investor contacts and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, taking the big corporate world and all of the benefits from being in there and giving that support to a small business that might not have all of those.
That's great. And we're going to draw it back a little bit to the previous question on the beauty products and what you think a consumer would look for. We've already touched on transparency. Any other things do you think a consumer would look for when they're trying to purchase a beauty product in particular?
Oh, interesting question. I think from a consumer perspective, I guess I can only answer as myself what I think. But I think definitely the transparency thing for me personally, I've definitely jumped on the bandwagon of the Korean skincare trend.
Oh, yes.
Korean skincare. Big fan. And I don't know if you've heard of, so Soko Glam is the American one, but there's Beauty and Soul, which is a really awesome Korean skincare company.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually on our Accelerator program in London. I've just found out recently.
That's
which
amazing.
Is awesome. So Korean skincare, I think, is probably a growing trend. Might just be me, I don't know. What else? I think what seems to be happening more so now is not just the beauty product, but also how else can we help customers figure out what they need to buy? Because now it's like, okay, there's loads of stuff out there. It's all transparent, but how do we now know what's best for us?
Yeah.
And a lot of websites are now incorporating filters and things and quizzes that you can do to really figure out exactly what's going to be best for your skin without spending, loads of money and time.
Exactly. That's something that Wavy Beauty do. So, one of our founders was having difficulty finding products that were good for his skin because he had a skin condition. So our aim is to obviously have a set of questions that you'd answer on the website, and it will take you to particular products based on your answers. So that's something that I feel if I don't think Beauty Bay does it, because you actually have to search through all of the items to see the descriptions and what it is that links to your skin. But Wavy Beauty, when you go onto the website, it does actually give you that assistance as well, so it cuts time, cuts corners for customers as well, which is fantastic.
I love that. And I think what you said about sensitive skin, like a lot of people now have kind of different
sensitive
skin issues. I think if you can filter by eliminating certain ingredients is also really great. I've seen a couple of websites do that. You can say, right, I don't want anything with perfume in it, and then it literally caters for you.
So that's great. And what are your views? Are you able to assist businesses on environmental sustainability if they do want to obviously input that into their business structure or model?
Yeah, definitely. So of course, we're very much wanting to support good businesses and people who are founders who want to do good in the world. And locally here in Brighton, we're actually partnered up with a couple of networks who support good businesses. And I think, again, being in Brighton, there are a lot of people who want to do more of that, sustainability. I don't know if it seems to be a more of a Brighton thing as well. I guess the way that we support is we encourage it and we connect people. So when you're starting out, if you want to be eco-friendly, it's really difficult because, you have to buy in bulk and it's more expensive. And so it's kind of like, it's harder to scale if you want to be eco-friendly, which shouldn't be the case, but it currently is the case. So the way that we can help is by getting people to collaborate with each other who can provide, packaging at a lower cost, that is eco-friendly, and just connecting people with those businesses that they might not normally have access to unless they were a big corporate with loads of money.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And do you have any positive words for Wavy Beauty?
Yeah, I mean, I love what you guys are doing. Absolutely. I think, there's definitely a huge need for kind of having a place to go to figure out what it is that you need as a consumer, because it's so confusing out there in the beauty space. So I think I really encourage that. And I think it's awesome. And it's definitely the way that the industry is going. So
thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Kristina. Thank you very much for your time. Guys, if you want to find out a little bit more about Wavy Beauty, I'd suggest heading to our website. It's www.wavybeauty.com. And for any small businesses or startups, I'd suggest heading to the NatWest website as well, where you can find out a little bit more about the Accelerator program and how they'd be able to assist you. They do have a lot of regions as well, so you'll be able to find one in your location, hopefully, and then you'll be able to go from there. But thank you very much, and I hope you've learned a lot from this video.